Now, just ahead of the United Nations General Assembly session, UN Chief Antonio Guterres sets the record straight on Jammu and Kashmir. He says that India and Pakistan should resolve the issue bilaterally. Responding to a question asked by Pakistani media, Guterres said that he has already made his opinion clear on the issue. Despite constant badgering, the UN chief said the dialogue between New Delhi and Islamabad was the essential element in resolving the issue.
Our capacity is related to good offices, and good offices can only be implemented when the parties accept it. And on the other hand, it relates to advocacy, and the advocacy was expressed and will be maintained. I go on with a clear opinion that human rights must be fully respected in the territory, and I go on with a clear opinion that dialogue between India and Pakistan is an absolutely essential element for the solution of the problem.
Remember, despite Pakistan's desperate attempts after the abrogation of Article 370, the UN has refused to intervene in the issue. India has always maintained that Jammu and Kashmir is an internal matter and has rejected any third-party interference. And so clearly, the world continues to stand by India on the issue of Kashmir. In the latest, the European Union Parliament has backed India on its stand that any dialogue on Kashmir will be a bilateral one between India and Pakistan. The members of EU Parliament have also called out to Pakistan for harbouring and supporting terrorism. Listen in.
Thank you, President. That Pakistan has threatened to use nuclear arms. That's a source of real concern to Europe. Resorting to nuclear arms on the part of Pakistan, and above all the fact that Pakistan, as we can see from history in recent years, is somewhere where terrorists have been able to prepare bloody terrorist attacks in Europe, without mentioning all the tremendous violations of human rights in Pakistan.
Ladies and gentlemen, President, the EU wishes and should contribute to resolving the Kashmir conflict, which has been going on for 70 years and has got bogged down, caused conflict and resulted in countless dead with terrorist attacks, reprisals and the like. However, the EU cannot solve this problem. It can only be solved by the parties to the conflict themselves. We, standing outside, can only support that process as a neutral broker.
Now remember, India maintains that terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. New Delhi has refused dialogues with Islamabad after the abrogation of Article 370. Pakistan has been trying desperately to rake up the issue in international arena. Islamabad's attempts have been met with failure. World leaders have time and again maintained that Article 370 is India's internal issue. They have also been vocal about how any dialogue around Kashmir should be strictly bilateral. And staying with news on Pakistan, the country has refused to allow Prime Minister Narendra Modi's aircraft to fly over Pakistani airspace. India had requested Pakistan to let Modi use Pakistani airspace for his upcoming travel to the United States. The request was part of a protocol, but the Pakistanis have said no. India says it regrets this decision. India's foreign ministry has said, and I quote, "We regret the decision of the government of Pakistan to deny overflight clearance for the VVIP special flight for a second time in 2 weeks. Pakistan should reflect upon its decision to deviate from well-established international practice as well as reconsider its old habit of misrepresenting the reasons for taking unilateral action." Now, with this rejection, Pakistan has violated the International Civil Aviation Organization Charter, or the ICAO. New Delhi can now take Islamabad to the ICAO, where it can be slapped with a heavy fine. According to the Charter, if a country denies the use of its airspace to a particular nation, then it risks being fined heavily. The only exception is in the case of a war. India's request for airspace permission can be called a diplomatic masterstroke. It is a catch-22 situation for Pakistan because, let's explain this. This rejection of permission will land Pakistan in trouble. There will be heavy fines and global embarrassment, but allowing the VIP flight to use Pakistani airspace was a very difficult option for Imran Khan. He risked facing domestic flag. What with all the grandstanding and anti-India rhetoric he has been engaged in, he could not have afforded to grant permission. Now, this is not the first time India has requested the use of Pakistani airspace. Earlier this month, a request was sent for President Ramnath Kovind's plane too. That request was also denied. Remember, Pakistan had fully closed its airspace in February after India struck terror camps in Balakot. A month later, it opened its airspace for all flights except for those headed to New Delhi, Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. The airspace was fully opened on 16 July after the abrogation of Article 370. There were talks that Pakistan is considering closing its airspace for India again. Now, no such announcement, however, has been made so far.